Okay, so what is the unknown value that makes this statement true? 45 is the part, so that goes on the left side. 50 is the whole amount. Percent always is out of 100, which means I just went ahead and put the 100 there in the whole amount column underneath the 50. Okay, so with that being the case, what does it take to get from 50 down to 100? It will take times 2, right? So this is times 2. Then you have to do 45 times 2. So that's all you have to do for this one. 45 times 2 is 90. Okay, which means if you look at this, 90 out of the 100 would be the percent. So that would be your answer here is 90%. So again, part over whole amount. Okay, then you just have to make sure that the whole amount gets to 100% if you are missing the percent. Okay, so for the second question, it says, again, what is the unknown value that makes this statement true? All right, so with this situation, we're not missing the percent, we're missing the part. The percent is 70%, and the whole amount is 300. Okay, so this is the part column, this is the whole column. On the part column's on the left side, the whole column is on the right side. So what we're missing is the part. 70% would be 70 out of 100. Okay, so in that situation, the whole amount is 300. So we have to convert from 100 and get to 300. So that's pretty simple to do. 100 times what will give you 300? Well, obviously it's 100 times 3. So with that being the case, we're going to do 70 times 3. So that's a terrible 3, but 7 times 3 is 21. So we'll put 21 and put the 0 there. So 210 is 70% of 300. Okay, so for this next problem, it says select the expression that can be used to calculate 32% of 200. Well, 32% is the same as 32 over 100 in fraction form. Also, 32 over 100 is the same as 0.32. Okay, because 32 divided by 100 is 0.32, and then of course times 120. So let's see, since we went ahead and divided 32 by 100 to get 0.32, is there anything over here that resembles that? Well, we have 0.32 over 100 is 120. Well, it's not 0.32 over 100, it's 32 over 100, so that one's no good. 0.32 over 10, well, that one's not going to work either, because again, it has to be 0.3 or 32, but not even 0.32 over 100. Then we have 0.32 times 120. That's actually what we have written here exactly. So that one would be the answer. And then just to kind of look at this one, we have 32 over 10. Well, that would be okay if it was 32 over 100, but it's not. So the correct answer for this one is C, because you have to divide either 32 or 120 by 100 first, and then you can multiply them together. As long as you divide one of them by 100 first, and then you can multiply them, that way it will actually give you the correct answer. Okay, for the next example, it says, what is the number of grams equal to 32.85 kilograms? Okay, so since we got 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, if we want to get to 32.85 kilograms, you're going to have to do 1 times something to get to the 32.85. Well, 1 times what will give you that? Well, obviously, it's 1 times 32.85. So you have to convert the 1,000 grams the same by multiplying by 32.85. So you have to increase it by the same amount. So if you do that, obviously there's 3 zeros in 1,000, which means you're going to move the decimal over 3 places, which means you're going to end up with 3, 2, 8, 5, and then we're going to have to add the 0 to get that third one over, or if you take 1,000 times 32.85 and put it into a calculator, you're going to get this number, which means you're just going to have to put the comma right there, and that's going to be grams. So 1 kilogram converted to 32.85 kilograms is going to take 1,000 grams and convert it to 32,850 grams. All right, the next example, it says Sandy bought 8 prizes for $104. So it's asking, does the following statement have the same unit rate as the above statement? All right, so we're going to compare it to the $52 and 4 books. Okay, well, let's compare the money first. Well, that's interesting between these two. It's either 104 divided by 2, which gives you 52, or 52 times 2, which gives you 104. And then the same thing with this one here. It's 8 prizes down to 4 prizes. So with that being the case, it seems like each time the top number here is divided by 2 to get the bottom number. And again, 104 divided by 2 is 52. So since you are actually dividing them both by the same amount and you are scaling them the same amount, then the answer would be that yes, they would have the same unit rate. They would have the same unit rate. Or you could just get them down to their unit rate. And so if you divided 104 divided by 8, that would be 13, or 1 prize for every $13. If you take $52 divided by 4, that would also get you 13. So 1 book for every $13. So that would definitely be the same unit rate. So the answer for that would be yes. They would be the same unit rate. That's how you would get that answer. Okay, the last example, it says Susie needs to calculate 63% of 300. Susie wrote down an explanation. Says, can this explanation be used to calculate 63% of 300? All right, well, really, all you have to do is remember that we make 63% into a decimal, okay, by moving it over 2 places. Remember, because 63% is the same thing as 63 over 100. It's always hard to do sixes while writing with a mouse, but 63 over 100 of means times, and 300 is the number. Okay, so 63 over 100, but as a decimal, that would be 0.63, right? 0.63 times 300. So those are a couple different ways we can write this down. All right, so 63 over 100 times 300, or 0.63 times 300. So it says, can this explanation be used to calculate 63% of 100? Susie could multiply 0.63 and 300. So if you look up here at our examples, does one of them have that exact thing? And the answer is yes. Now the other thing is, you want to keep in mind that we could actually do a situation where you keep 63 and don't change it to a decimal, and you could divide 300 by 100 first, right? In that situation, if you had 63 times 3, 63 times 3, because you did 300 divided by 100, that would actually give us the same answer as well. So if Susie could multiply by 63 times 3, okay, since we already divided by the 100 here, so you can divide either side, either the percent or the number, by 100, and as long as you do either one of those, you are actually getting the right calculation. So keep that in mind as you are doing your assessment today, and good luck. I wish everyone the very best.